Does it really matter? I guess it matters, right?
I imagine that if you're playing a basketball game and you have the crowd roaring,
Yeah.
it's very different than just like coaches yelling, right? Do you think you'll wind up doing concerts with fake audience
It's the first thing I'm
members?
thinking about.
Yeah, what is that gonna be like?
I'm trying to imagine playing a show with videos of people.
Yeah, and not
how
not
that's gonna
getting the actual sound of the human beings.
And then
there.
the delay and shit.
Nobody wants to do that.
When you perform.
Nobody that loves to perform.
Yeah,
Nobody wants that.
it sounds
No,
hard.
Yeah, no musicians want that.
How do you feel about
Yeah.
New Zealand? I just tweeted or Instagram like yesterday.
saw.
Yeah,
Like,
New
they're go-
Zealand has concerts.
Because they were smart enough
I know.
to.
I don't want to. You gonna make me depressed about even
I'm
talking
just
about
saying,
this.
man.
They have fucking. The dude was an asshole too. I forget what artist it was, but he posted his live concert. He said, "I'm so happy to be from New Zealand, where we don't have coronavirus as an issue. Sold out show tonight, and another one happening tomorrow." I was like, "Damn, you gonna throw it in our
Just
face,
stun it.
Bill?"
I know.
Stun for no
Just
reason.
stun it
Would you
on
do
it.
the car shows though? People have been doing
I'm
the car
down for the-
shows.
I'm down
The car
for the
shows
car
are cool.
shows,
Yeah.
yeah.
You see the Chainsmokers car show where people got out of the cars and then it was just a concert.
It was just a change.
That just happened.
I believe that. Where that happened
see
at?
that
though?
I
happening.
think maybe in Canada. I don't know. I wasn't.
Oh,
I just kind of saw it.
how is
on
Canada
the
doing
scroll.
with COVID?
I feel like they have to be doing better than us, though.
I don't think anyone
I just have a feeling. I have a feeling. I feel like everyone's doing better than us for some reason.
For sure.
Because nobody else has this attitude problem that
Yeah.
we have.
The only thing I know for sure is that actually Mexico probably isn't doing as well. Only because they
Really?
can't afford testing. Sucks.
Okay.
So it's like
But
people
you
are getting
heard-
sick, but no one can really get tested. So
So they don't have it. You heard Trump said our numbers would
It's
be
the
down if they didn't
It's
take
the
it.
same. Yeah,
you
so
know,
that
with that
part-
logic, Mexico might be doing great.
Are they doing social distancing? Are they doing masks? Like, do people give a fuck there?
I haven't been, but my understanding is that it's still fairly loose.
I ain't gonna front. I just missed it in Mexico. I went right before quarantine hit here, and we were about to start filming again. I went, and when we landed in Cabo, it was like zero COVID. Good fucking.
You were like, we good. We're good.
Zero COVID
Run it.
cases out here. I was like, that's cool. We gonna have a good time, and we had a good time. And then like maybe a week after landing back in LA, it was just like, boom. It was the NBA shutdown. And this is
Tom
happening.
Hanks.
And then they were like, "Do you think
Tom
we
Hanks.
Tom Hanks was the beginning to me.
Look, I love that every
definitely
race
marks-
has a different beginning.
It's true.
It's like the NBA
It's
for
true.
niggas was like, the NBA, this is crazy.
It's the same day.
Chris was like, I need Tom
That
Hanks
was March
to fucking
11th.
come and make an announcement.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks doesn't step up.
He
then. I
wasn't
don't
even
know.
here either. He was in like
Australia.
Australia or some
Australia.
shit. Yeah.
Right.
Even more white plays. He was like, I'm gonna catch it out here.
Now I have like more musician questions. What do you think? When do you think people are gonna start referencing COVID in songs?
I feel like it's happening.
It's already happening.
It's
in rap.
happening.
Yeah,
I'm
people are doing.
For sure. It's
I'm
happening
waiting
in rap.
for them. I can't wait for them. I mean, obviously we've heard "Board in the House." We've heard there's like
Anderson's
This
song.
motherfucker just put Board in the House as number one on his music list. Obviously, we've heard
quarantine.
Board in the House,
That's a quarantine song.
all of the records, you guys know.
I'm a quarantine quarterback.
Extensive catalog.
I love that line. But when is it gonna go?
It's happening for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have
Anderson says Kovic. That's the illest way to say it too.
He-
With the
who-
C.
He says
With
COVID.
Kovic.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, that's the hardest
That's
though.
great. I love Anderson.
Are you
Me too.
afraid? Like, do you feel like are people gonna have entire albums about quarantine?
Nah. They trying to.
You don't think people are gonna create like concept albums of like I stayed in my house?
Who the fuck would listen to that?
I don't
Who
know.
would be forced
You
to stay
don't
in their
think
house?
that when we get out of this, there's going to be a lot of movies about quarantine?
I want
and
It's
people
more
to-
of like a
shows
selling
about
point
quarantine?
now.
I want
like
people to remind me of the good times. I don't want motherfuckers to tell me about what we all know we going through.
Taylor Swift just dropped an album, and I think the whole premise was that it was done during Cove. So
What does
was
that
like
mean?
a big thing. And it's like
It's
that
exactly
like
what I
marketing
said.
strategy?
That's exactly what I just said.
But I'm just saying, is that a marketing strategy? It's like all of this was done during COVID. It's like, okay, all this was done in 4 months.
Yeah.
It sounds like an album length, okay? What do you
Like,
want
that's how
us to
long
say
it
about this?
typically takes.
I feel
I
like
don't-
there's something like raw about right. People have stories about like I went to the woods and I wrote this album,
Yeah.
and then I came out. Now it's like I went to COVID and I wrote this
I
album.
through
went to
COVID.
COVID?
Yeah, it's like the
Went through.
mainstream version.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't even
It's
know
so
what that
Taylor
sounds like.
Swift in my opinion as well.
To drop a COVID album?
Shout out to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Because I think it did like 1
We know your sentiments. Our sentiments are not yours, though. We're going down a Taylor Swift dungeon. We know. Miguel jumped there real quick.
I'm over here trying to be PC. We love you. We love you.
I don't really know these niggas.
Taylor, we love you. We love you. Songwriting.
But it's like it's a corporate. They're like it is a go. It's a go-to gimmick, but she does it the way she does it. She does it well.
She does it well. Nobody's gonna ever try to take away that Taylor Swift is mad.
She does simple things well, is what I'm saying as well.
Damn, it sounds like these are backhanded. All of them, Chris.
No.
Continue.
Let's just move on. Let's just keep going.
Let's just move on. Should we just get into the show?
Let's get into the show.
We haven't even mentioned. Okay, I guess. Welcome to Wine and Weed. I am your host, Sterling Steelo Brim, a.k.a. S to the B to your best to the Bree, a.k.a. is our third leg, no, it's just me, a.k.a. Concerned Father, a.k.a. Black Mama, a.k.a. R.I.P. Black Mamba, a.k.a. Steezington, a.k.a. Fittington, a.k.a. Is that your bitch? Not no more. A.k.a. Damn, I don't know, Strong Black Voice? Yeah, that's a new one. I just made it up right now, but I like it. And with me as always, I'm sorry, with me back. As always, back from vacation, back from, I guess, seeing America, which seems dangerous in my eyes, but
because of the people or because of the COVID?
A little bit of both, if you want me to be real.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy to have him back.
Thank
the co-host, Chris Reinecker.
Hey, I'm Chris Reinecker, a.k.a. The Connoisseur, a.k.a. The Goop in Your Gap, a.k.a. I feel like I should have some road trip. The Mustache Maven. The mustache is back. The mustache is not always here.
Yeah.
But I felt like
people missed it.
It was important to come back, and I was gonna wear a Corn Palace hat. I forgot.
You didn't have to.
I was gonna rep merch from random weird spots I've went across in the United States.
Where'd you get that one in Nebraska?
That was there's a Corn Palace, the world's only Corn Palace in South Dakota.
And it was
Mitchell, South Dakota.
And you went to it.
I went to. I went.
So
inside.
it was deemed essential.
It was.
They left it open for us. They was like, people gotta get to the corn. Obviously,
yeah.
We can't stop people from seeing a Corn Palace.
I barely saw anything on the way there. I did very good social distancing, mask wearing. On the way back, I saw a few tourist traps still did the mask wearing.
Yeah, you told me
and
about
social
that.
distancing, but.
And I wish this was about you, but fuck you, Chris.
But
we have
no,
a
it's
very
not.
special guest today.
Yeah. I know.
We'll talk about you traveling the world, though. We'll get into that.
I also want to hear what happened on the show while I was gone.
No, we'll get into that a little later. But with us, I call him a 100%er. I call him a songwriter and an amazing artist and just producer, and he's just an amazing talent. Performer. I don't know. He's an actor. He's a lot of different things. He is known as Mr. Miguel. Miguel, thank you for being here.
My man, my guys.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I don't have any cool AKAs though.
That's a lie. I know
I need
you
to work on my AKA game.
Your AKA game is deep. I got you saved. My phone is Make Money.
Yep.
Make Money.
That's the one.
Yeah, Make Money. Yeah.
That's good. Make Money's good.
Yeah, Mr. John Tell.
Wore the church shoes.
You don't go about it no more. You don't say John Tell no more.
John Tell's good though.
Is it still good?
For like the homies
Okay,
that know.
cool.
Yeah,
See?
John Tell's cool.
Yeah, so he basically told me I couldn't say it no more. He was like,
He's
for the
like,
homie,
not
homie.
Yeah, for the homie,
Nigga, you homie,
which
but
means
you didn't get the
not
second homie.
you
Stay in your
or
lane.
you.
Yeah.
Definitely not you.
Definitely not.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's fair.
What
Thank
up,
you for
though?
being here, though. Yeah. If you don't know about this show, what we do on this show is we kind of just go over the week. We go over different topics from politics all the way to sports to everything in between, pop culture. And we just kind of make it more of a conversation instead of an interview. We have fun. We allow people to kind of come into my home and be that fly on the wall and just listen to us and how our brains work. And I think that you have a very intriguing and interesting brain. That's why we wanted you here, because I believe you're an asset to this show, man.
Cheers to the brains.
Yeah.
Thanks,
To the
brains.
brains. Brains. Have a good time.
Yeah.
And nothing happened on this show.
Yeah,
Crystal.
I feel like what I missed.
I don't know.
I don't.
I heard
didn't-
something happen.
I've gone for one episode.
You were only gone
See?
for one episode.
Yeah.
It did.
I hold the show together.
It did make me feel like shit. It did make me. People were like, "Chris, we fucking left," and you were like, "Calm down." I thought about that too. Everybody, calm the fuck down.
This side of the couch, it's a hard seat to sit in.
It is. I sat in that side. People didn't like that shit either. They were like, "I don't like change. Go back to your side, Sterling." But nothing really happened on the show. We went viral, so to speak.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers. I guess
I
cheers
guess
to that.
so.
I didn't like the way we went viral.
Yeah.
You know, it was because I still like participate show. I watched it, I edited it. I felt like it's interesting because in my opinion it felt like a joke a bit, and then sometimes you forget that there's a human being on the other end of the bit,
right? And
it has larger implications. And I thought it was a good move for her to come out and go, hey, I'm sorry. And I think this conversation and the internet this show and the internet are a conversation. And sometimes in conversations, you say something and somebody checks you and you go, oh, I guess you're right. And you apologize. So
and you leave room for education, lesson, and growth. And I don't know. When obviously you watch the episode, we kind of talk her. We try to jokingly talk her out of, saying whatever she's saying. But at the same time, I know that she was joking. Even though we felt like it could be problematic in what she was saying, and it was somebody attached to that. I don't think anyone was looking at that as like, oh, this is domestic violence. I hate to be funny right now, but you kind of look at it like, no, a nigga shot somebody. That's a crime. That's not like domestic violence. Like, even though it is obviously domestic violence. And in the moment, you're thinking like, oh, this is a scenario, and obviously we didn't know about it. So I tried to make sure we continued the overarching thing of this is a hypothetical. This didn't. I don't know what happened.
Right.
We're in a bit. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Only those people can speak on that. I would never try to actually give out those facts because I was not there. So I feel bad at kind of how I feel as though she was handled, but I do understand what she said was problematic. But I feel like we should be open at when I think about cancel culture, it's a very zero tolerance ass culture.
That's the part.
Yeah.
That's the part we were talking about earlier. Like, cancel culture is just way too crazy now. It actually shouldn't be. It should be in this time where everything is changing up and people are starting to see how important it is for everyone to listen to each other.
Yes.
It really is time for people to start like going, okay, wait a second. We can't cancel each other.
Yeah.
That's not how we level up.
Especially if people are learning from it, and especially if it's somebody's words and they're going, oh, I guess I shouldn't have said that. Like, that's part of growth, right?
Yeah.
If it's somebody who like killed somebody or did something terrible,
or even doesn't show remorse, like, okay,
right,
I get it.
Yeah.
If you're just like, oh, fuck it, this is what I'm gonna do, and it's wrong, but fuck you and everyone else who's being harmed by it, then cool, you deserve to be canceled. But
100%.
Sure, I agree with you.
The problem is a lot of people are getting the same sentence,
right?
Whether or not the crime is the same, people are being sentenced the same thing,
right?
And they're being like, well, you said something, so you gotta go. And you
take a spot next to Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, you like, but nah.
Kevin Spacey?
Like, I don't want to sit next to Kevin Spacey. The fuck? Don't put me next to Kevin Spacey. But at the same, but that's a joke. But in all seriousness, there are people who feel like, okay, well, what does this judicial system look like in cancel culture? Like, no one really knows.
Right.
Everyone each day has to be their own judge,
right,
and kind of determine what side they fall on everything. Mm-hmm. Everyone, obviously we live in a time where everyone, we always joke about this and says, yeah, we all have a voice, but should we all be heard? We live in a time that everyone believes their voices should be heard. Mm-hmm. So everyone is so quick to give you their perspective or opinion because they're like, this gives me more value. Mm-hmm. Even if no one is listening or hearing it, I would joke and say, why no one will ever be as famous as Michael Jackson again? Accessibility. Mm-hmm. I was like, Justin Bieber, even if you don't know Justin Bieber, you can still write him on Twitter and Instagram, and you may be crazy enough to believe he saw it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he saw it or not, but
and he could have.
And he could have. Michael Jackson,
That's
you
wild.
had one time a year that motherfucker was gonna pull up on you, and he was gonna do a 5-second dance outside of one hotel at a designated moment, and you had to be
if you could even get there,
if he was feeling that way too, if everything was going perfect.
Yeah. No.
So I don't know. I think we should be like we were saying. I think we should be more open to people learning from their mistakes. I think if we were to use the same magnifying glass or light on ourselves that we do cancel culture, we would all be canceled. I think that if we really would be real with ourselves, if we all looked at our lives, and if cancel culture is really a one-strike thing and you're out,
you're getting canceled.
Tell me who wouldn't be culture.
You're getting canceled. Yeah. Everybody's canceled.
Tell me who's perfect. Tell me that one person that you're like, no, I can promise, no matter what, they wouldn't get. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, no.
That person doesn't exist.
It's not happening.
I also think that like celebrities are sometimes like proxies for human beings, right? It's like a story you watch, and part of that story can be somebody messes up, And we can even say, hey, that was fucked up. You shouldn't have done that. And if they respond with, I guess you're right. I shouldn't have done that. And they can continue to have a career. Like, that's part of life.
Yeah.
Right?
That's part of life. Yeah.
You know,
or even like, why? Like, why shouldn't I have done that?
Yeah.
Educate me.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. And I said this on the show.
That was a good, I mean, I didn't get to talk about the Nick Cannon thing. Yeah.
I thought that was the most important part, is that he was like, hey, I'm not sure I'm wrong yet, but I am so open to the conversation. Please educate me on why I'm wrong and what I said.
Right.
And when he had the opportunity, he apologized.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To me, there's nothing
And when
wrong.
he meant it.
And he meant it. And you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with making sure. I hate that we live in a culture that you even want people to make a blanket apology and say, oh, well, I'm sorry. You even ask kids at an early age. For what?
Right.
You make sure they know why they're sorry.
Are you saying this just to say sorry or to pacify, or is it genuine?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
sort of the same thing with Kevin. Like, Kevin had put out a genuine apology before, and he still got attacked for it, to the point where you're just like, well, I already said I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do? You know? And I believe that was the right thing to do. He just stood up for what he believed in. He said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get on my knees and grovel for it. I might have said some things in the past that didn't make, that don't stand for what I really believe in. I'm a comedian, or whatever it was. He apologized for it,
But it's just crazy, and it'd be.
I've definitely said some crazy things that I didn't mean to say.
Because you're a person,
human being.
Yeah, and I like tequila.
Yeah, you like tequila.
Oh, speaking of which, this week on the show, we're drinking this Unruly Cab.
What's this? This is me.
2018.
This is us. This is us. Okay, Unruly. I never tried this one.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
All right.
And you're doing a little tequila?
A little tequila,
Hey,
grown man drink over here.
No, it's crazy. I think I might be allergic to wine.
Really?
Yeah.
To all wine. So is it grapes in
it's
general?
Something about
we have grapes out in front of you right now.
No, it's I'm with the grapes all day. But I think it's the way it's fermented or something, or it's like what's added. Yeah, so like natural wine's like a drink. But,
okay.
Yeah.
You just got expensive taste overall. Your body told you didn't even want cheap shit. You probably went to somebody's like housewarming party and like drank some Yellowtail one time, and your body was like, "This ain't right, Miguel."
Yeah, like.
And we got
we need natural.
It's got to be all natural.
What are we smoking?
This is we're smoking. I think a riptide from Corova, and then I think you also have something as well that we'll end up smoking probably.
Yeah, we can do that later.
Yeah, we can do that for later. But right now we're smoking a little sativa, a little riptide, so I think we'll enjoy this. We all are, practicing our social distancing and smoking our own joints, which means we'll be high as fuck. But let's jump in. Want to jump into the week?
Let's get into the stories
of
the week.
It, man.
Absolutely.
Happy to have you back, Chris. Happy to have you here, Miguel.
I appreciate
feel safe with you guys.
Making an appearance as well.
Hey, thank you.
I appreciate that.
But first, the first Wine and Weed ad. This episode of Wine and Weed is brought to you by
Manscaped. Here to clean your balls. That's not their slogan, but it should be, right? How do you view manscaping? Are you somebody that goes full bald? Like, how do you rock the Michael Jordan on your nuts? Or are you out here more like, hey, this is a fresh fade for my thing? Like, where you living?
I see you're trying to prep the people for my OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
I see right through it.
You didn't start that, but yeah.
And I actually think at the end of the day, manscaping is about love.
It is. It's about self-love.
It's about self-love.
How can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself?
It's also about encouraging your man to be self-love. I'm kind of getting into this.
Manscaped makes the Lawnmower 3.0 tough for those balls. And no matter what skin you hold down there, whether you got alligator skin on those balls or you got motherfucking baby skin on those balls, the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 will make sure it's no nicks, no pricks, just it.
That's a guarantee.
All right.
So
Manscaped.com, get you a lawnmower, get you some powder for your nuts, get you some spray and spritzer, some little cologne for your nuts, whatever you need. Get all of this. Get this whole pack.
Get free shipping.
Why
get
not?
20% off with the code Wine and Weed at
Wine
checkout.
and Weed.
That's the code Wine and Weed at checkout for 20% off.
20% off.
And now enjoy our wonderful episode with Miguel that we had so much fun on that we were this drunk at the end.
Yeah.
Hit it, John.
Hit it?
Hey, what's good, everybody? I'm John Ros, aka the Gorilla in Manila, aka the Nose That Knows, aka Terry Khalifa, aka Shark Boy, aka Young Jeff Goldblum, aka Big Facts, and of course, Slim Sexy with the glasses. Canada's leading health experts may finally have cracked the code to safer sex during COVID-19. Glory holes. 2020, you've done it again. The sex health tip appears on the British Columbia Centre for Disease Control's website on a page dedicated to education on COVID-19 and sex. One of the suggested steps for helping to protect yourself during sex: use barriers like walls, e.g. glory holes, that allow for sexual contact but prevent close face-to-face contact. Yes, that's the term, glory holes, plural, no less. On an official Canadian government website, and no, IKEA doesn't sell them, we've checked. The internet was into the suggestion, as many on Twitter reacted with what might be best described as glee. Just a reminder to those currently in public that for obvious reasons, exploring the hashtag glory hole is a not safe for work practice. Also, though, Canada's doing really well with COVID, so maybe we should listen to them.
Interesting.
COVID safe sex practices.
Yeah. Are you? I know you're married, but are you here for that? Like, do you encourage this?
Listen, we're taking all precautions. We have our own joints. We're definitely masked up when it's time. We're socially distancing. I'm all about the safe sex practices. Everybody's got to stay safe.
And it sounds fun.
Wait, but does it go like you go on a date with somebody and you're like, hey, this date is going really well, like from across my yard. I got a glory hole inside. Like, how do you go from
I'm pretty sure glory holes refer to like anal though. That's why I was confused.
Wait, no.
A glory hole is just a hole in a wall.
You can do whatever you want that
stick
hole.
your dick
Oh, that's right.
It's the
you
hole
just
in the
got
wall.
you.
Yeah, with the glory hole, the
got
wall.
you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a surprise person
It's
on
a
the other
surprise.
side. On the other side.
I mean, it could. You don't know what hole you're in.
It's like Love Is Blind
Yeah,
season 2 should be just glory holes in Canada. That's what it should be. Should it not be? Would you not watch that?
thing? Is this like a Canadian thing? Like glory holes? Is that where they originate? Is that why that's a
No, I think they originate. Glory holes are like.
First of all, baby, don't answer
clubs.
this question without Google searching anything. I don't like the fact that you're about to answer a glory hole origin story.
Came off.
And
you had to answer too quick.
You didn't type in one thing. She was like, no, glory holes actually come from Germany. 1812 is when they first were introduced. Please search.
I get it. I just don't know what two people get into a scenario where they decide that like you're into somebody from across the room and then you go to glory hole.
I think you confused.
Because you can't kiss in between.
This is not
so
two
how do you
people.
go from...
It's not two people making a decision together
I don't know
on
that
a
I
date.
followed
You
the
don't go
whole
from a
thing.
date to a glory hole.
Well,
guys.
you go from like a
glory
Tinder.
hole is, first of all, glory hole is the wild, wild west. It's where you shouldn't go. Let's start with that. But if you are into the glory hole community, if you're in that community, then you probably playing Russian roulette every time. You like, yo, I'm going to just put my dick in this hole and whatever happens, happen. I don't even think you're like looking to see what's on the other side of that wall.
Oh, yeah.
I think glory holes are, oh man, shit, we got to pour our drinks on. I think glory holes are literally just for like people who are like, yo, I have a sexual problem. I can't stop this.
No judgment.
Let's call it a fetish.
No
you know?
I don't
judgment.
like that my girlfriend is shaking her head at me like that's not only who it's for.
This
First
feels,
of all, bitch,
this feels like a
what?
conversation that's going to continue
What the
after. This may be a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna holler
Should
at
we
you
move
later.
on?
Okay, this is crazy talk. Gloria, she is like that's not only who glory holes are for. How assuming. No, yeah, I don't know.
I
what
feel
this
like
does.
what they're saying though is like switch your practice from whatever you do now to glory holes, and I'm trying to figure out who is going. You're right. I do care about coronavirus. I care about safety.
That much.
And
People still fucking,
but I
Chris.
still like casual sex, so I'm
Chris.
gonna switch over to glory holes.
Do you?
So
Okay.
is that what it's saying? Is it saying that
Yes.
glory holes are more safe than
Yes.
regular?
Or are they saying that everybody should have their own glory hole?
This is
like at your house?
groundbreaking.
This is
This
their
is groundbreaking,
practice.
guys.
This is their safe sex tips. So if you're having sex with a new partner, is ask your partner if they're feeling unwell. Before and after sex, wash your body with soap and water 20 minutes before you have sexual intercourse. Wash all sex toys thoroughly. Wear a face mask or covering during sex, avoid or limit kissing and saliva exchange, choose sexual positions that limit face-to-face contact, use barriers like walls, glory holes that allow for sexual contact but prevent close face-to-face contact, use condoms, lubricant, and dental dams.
Okay, that part has nothing to do with.
And those are what they say. But glory holes originated in gay culture because in like bathrooms
So it originated in gay culture, not Canadian culture.
Okay.
To limit prosecution for like gay people.
Now, what I will say is this: as much as this all sounds crazy, I don't think as us being Americans that have the highest COVID cases in all of the world right now that we should be against trying this. Okay, we need to be putting everything on the table to see
what do you have to
how
lose?
can we get our COVID cases down. If that's glory holes,
we're trying to flatten the curve.
Yeah,
right now. It's serious. It's really serious.
So if you go over to a girl, like let's say we're all single men, and you go over to a girl's house and she's like, "Hey, I got a glory hole. Do you want to hook up?"
No, bitch. We already been talking. We've been talking here. What are you talking about?
She's like, "Yeah, I brought a piece of plywood earlier," or she doesn't explain it. She just has a glory hole. Are you a little bit like, "Why do you have?"
But what do you mean? Just has a glory hole? You mean
she's like because it's
a hole
I'm
cut
a
in her
big
bedroom
Fauci
door.
fan.
Pretty
What?
much.
I'm a big Fauci fan. It's a hole cut in her actual bedroom door. Like, where is this glory hole?
I imagine that it was like a set and it had legs on it, but there was just a hole in it.
It's on rollers. She just like rolls it out.
She's like, so maybe we could have a little bit of wine. And
what if you like?
She's
hit
like,
it off
wait.
with your neighbor though.
First, she rolls out the glory hole.
now I'm gonna shower, and in
safe
20
sex.
minutes. Well, yeah, I just don't see the practicality in it.
That's because you want to kiss and like talk and shit.
Somebody was bored at their
Glory hole
CDC
people
and
are
just
not
needed
talking.
something. They just needed to come up with something to write about sex.
Man, they got a lot to come up with. I hope they're not just making up shit.
All right, Canadians, we can move to the next. Yeah,
Let's go. Yeah, what else we got?
The NBA has placed Lou Williams in a 10-day quarantine after the LA Clippers guard was investigated by the league for what he did while on an excused absence from the Orlando, Florida campus. The league announced Williams' quarantine on Sunday, 3 days after Williams was photographed by the rapper Jack Harlow at an Atlanta strip club. Harlow quickly deleted the post from his Instagram story and tweeted Friday, "That was an old pic of me and Lou. I was just reminiscing because I miss him."
you just wanna?
I know. I could tell us.
Yeah.
Should I just tell us?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, fuck
Sometimes
it.
we do that.
So, Lou, yeah, whenever it's like a super black thing, normally I just cover it myself. Lou Williams, obviously NBA bubble is going on. One of the biggest arguments between the NBA players and the actual association has been the way they handle the clearance of them going in and out of the bubble versus how they handle the employees of Disney. So Lou Williams, because the employees of Disney can go in and out of the bubble. They work there. They don't live there. So they have to go back home or go wherever they're going. They come back.
Right.
The NBA players felt they should at least have that opportunity, the same opportunity.
Right.
But we're here now. The facts are you can't leave the fucking bubble unless you have an actual family matter, an emergency, or some kind of excused absence from the bubble. Lou Williams with two Clipper players, Patrick Beverly and was it Montrezl Harrell, had permission to leave the bubble for family matters. Lou Williams was going to a funeral in Atlanta. Lou Williams is from Atlanta.
Right.
So Lou Williams goes from Orlando to Atlanta to attend a funeral. He got clearance for that. The Clippers gave him clearance for that. He did that. He went there. He went to the funeral. And, on his way, I guess, back to the airport, wherever he's going, he thought to himself, I'm hungry. Fuck it, I'm hungry. I'm going to go ahead and stop in Magic City and get me some wings. Now, to the untrained person, they may believe Magic City is a place that you only go to see ass and titties.
Got it.
That is definitely the number one attraction, but it's not the only attraction. Chicken is very high on the list of things. Right after nipples, I think, is chicken. It's number 4 on the list.
So he went to a strip club.
He went to a strip. I don't like to call it that. I like to call it a
second most
restaurant
popular
with titties
item
around.
on the menu.
Yes.
Nipples, chicken.
For sure. For sure. So he went to a strip club that is known for their wings for real. They're known for their chicken wings. He has also documented many times before that he has went to Magic City just for the wings. Through his Twitter, through people just knowing him. They like, Lou loved the wings at Magic City. So Lou stopped at Magic City, got some wings, maybe bumped into a titty he didn't want to bump into, I'm going to guess. And
can you get COVID from titties in your face? You probably can, right?
I don't think that's.
I don't think they said
anything
anything about sweat, like titty sweat or anything like that. I don't think.
But
I think
in your face.
Yeah, you're safe, right?
I don't know, because they say it's like comes like from your like lungs, from your
I wanted
breath.
you to give us a fake fact and be like, titty sweat is good.
Titty sweat is safe, guys.
The CDC says titty sweat.
MJP says that titty sweat is safe
For sure. So yeah, now they penalize his consequence. Lou Williams' consequence is that he has to quarantine down for 10 days straight. He can't play in the first 2 seeding games for the Clippers. We know he's one of the best 6 men of all time, and definitely for the Clippers. So they missed one of their key players because he decided to get some wings. How do you feel?
Go to a strip club to get some
okay, see, but look, this is okay. Let me ask you a question. If you were in the NBA and you got to leave, right, and you got to go to a funeral, and you stopped at Chick-fil-A, what's the difference?
Is that I probably didn't get a titty. At this point, I need to know whether titties can.
First of all,
is
why
there any
titties
titty
can
sweat
submit
involved? Is what we need to
COVID,
know.
then I get like being. Was it just?
But you judging me now for where I get my wings?
I'm taking your
That's
word
exactly
that
what
you
they're
were just
doing.
getting wings.
That's exactly
doing.
what they're
saying.
doing.
They're saying, oh, well, we don't like the fact that titties are where you get your wings from. That's all they're saying to him. They have no proof that he had a lap dance.
But here's the thing, though.
They have proof that he didn't have a lap dance.
So then you should be guilty. Guilty.
Be safe until otherwise proven.
He got tested anyway. He got
tested and he's
clean? And then the fucking NBA gets tested every day, I think, or every other day, for 2 days.
So the way that it got out was Jack Harlow tweeted a picture of him in Magic City.
Oh, Jack Harlow did it?
So, and then he deleted it right away, then went on his Twitter right away and was like, sorry, that was an old pic of Lou Will. But then Lou Will, when he got back to the bubble, admitted to security guards that he did go to Magic City. And now he has to quarantine for 10 days and miss the 2 first games of the actual season. Yeah. Games.
Right. Oh
yeah,
man.
okay, I'm sorry, I missed the Jack Harlow part. Thank you, baby. Yeah, I didn't know the Jack Harlow part of Jack Harlow dry snitch.
That's lame.
He west snitched,
Yeah,
but
that's
he
lame.
snitched on Lou Williams. Obviously, it was an accident, but yeah, that's interesting.
You gotta be as safe as you can be. Is all
I'm just saying, we're all grown. Okay, he's gonna miss the first 2 games. It's the beginning of the season.
But he took a test too, and he passed it, and he doesn't have COVID.
Whatever.
But why can't he just play?
But isn't in baseball? Didn't an entire team get COVID
That was-
and now fucks up the season?
that was
for
the
Right.
everybody?
Marlon man. That was
It's like, do you have it?
no, you good. I'm
Yeah,
high. You
yeah.
good.
I was like, either you set an example, you know what I mean, and make sure that everyone is safe, or you risk the possibility of an entire team having to sit out.
I agree with you.
Right?
I agree with you, but they already tested him, and then also you haven't even given them much of.
Right. I get the whole setting. Like,
these are millionaires, like multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
These people are throwing a fucking ridiculous amount of money, and they basically are all in their. Again, I have nothing against Days Inn guys, but they're basically staying in fucking Days Inn. So, and they've complained about that. They've complained about having bugs in their rooms. They've complained about like, oh, we've been forced to be in this fucking bubble, and then on top of that, I can't grab some wings on the way home from a funeral, fam. I can't even see my family for 3 months. And then on top of that, I'm seeing my family. What if my family was like, you know what? If we go to weddings and you have a reception, right? Black people at funerals, they eat together afterwards. They do certain shit. What if my family said it's a fucking tradition for us? We're all from Atlanta. Let's go to Magic City. It's what Uncle Willie would have wanted. Uncle Willie would have wanted us to see some goddamn titties and eat some wings. Why can't I do this?
I think it's Magic City's fault for not having glory holes. I think that
if they would have taken that extra precaution,
they would. Yeah,
we have proof. You'd be like, what? They're
proof that's loose dick.
It's all glory holes. This is proof
That
that
ain't
Canadian.
loose dick.
government-
They can't prove it.
Canada said that this is approved. I mean,
We're fine. Canada basically runs
by
the
Canadian
NBA.
standards, this is excellent. We're doing our part.
They're like, you're right.
I hear you on just the principality of it.
No, I'm just trying to get that man in an argument. I don't know if you can go to Magic City while you're supposed to be in the bubble.
But some chicken though.
Chicken good shit.
Yeah, chicken.
Target joins Walmart in staying closed for Thanksgiving this year. Target said Monday that it will close up for Turkey Day following Walmart's announcements of the same plans last week. Instead, Target is encouraging shoppers to start their holiday shopping even earlier, in October. I knew there was a but. Two of the biggest retailers in the U.S. are closing their doors on Thanksgiving this year, sidestepping a recent tradition of keeping the lights on for customers to bargain hunt after their turkey dinners. It also said it will be making more than 20,000 items, including fresh and frozen food, available for curbside pickup and delivery ahead of the holidays, using its Shipt platform. In the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, most agree this holiday season is going to look a lot different than in the past years. There's heightened fear around a second wave of COVID-19 cases spiking during the traditional flu season, and as temperatures drop, retailers in turn are having to adjust their plans to both meet customers' expectations and be mindful of their employees' safety. Adding to the uncertainty, Amazon has delayed its annual Prime Day shopping event, which is normally in July, to later than usual this year, but it has not yet set a firm day.
I don't know. I think it's an empty gesture because they're not closing on Black Friday. They're closing on Thanksgiving.
Oh wait. So Black Friday still exists.
Black Friday is still open. It's still the same thing. It's just the next day.
No, so that's not saying that even Black Friday is not happening.
I don't. No, it's saying you're not going to line up on Thanksgiving for Black Friday, but I still think Black Friday is happening. No,
Thanksgiving.
So really, all they're doing is they're discriminating against procrastinators, because I'm somebody who sometimes shows up on Thursday and is like, fuck, I gotta bring something to Thanksgiving, and now I can't go to Walmart and figure out how to.
When do you think, let's get back into cancel culture, when do you think Thanksgiving will be canceled?
Oh shit,
man, that's a good one. They're never gonna cancel that.
Whoa, why not?
They're
gonna call it something different. They're gonna keep the day going.
Because look
the money gotta get made.
Look at how crazy pulling down statues, and it's like all of this heritage, quote unquote, they're going so crazy. Now we're talking about tradition. Tradition is a whole other vibe. Like you go like, yeah, like we got symbols, and then like tradition is like deep, super deep. So if anything, at best I would say in general on American culture, there's like information included in our lesson books. As we get like that's I don't see how they could ever. I don't see anyone even. We haven't even gotten an apology, by the way.
No, I was just gonna say this earlier. I'm
saying like even the Indians.
Yeah.
I mean the Indians kind of got like gestures, but
I don't know.
No formal. Look at every other country. Every other country that's ever done like anything crazy to another race or general or population has always like literally acknowledged this.
They've either given them reparations in some form
and said, "Hey, we fucked up.
Yeah, we fucked up.
We fucked up.
We haven't even gotten an apology."
So yeah, I don't know about Thanksgiving, bro.
Man,
yeah, the flags were rebranded heritage, and like, no, I can't take that down. Like also like the Nazi flag is illegal in Germany,
right?
And the Confederate flag is like a matter of free speech in America. We were talking about this earlier this year.
It's really crazy. Like I don't even know. I don't know what to say.
Oh, I think that Thanksgiving could be like rebranded. Maybe leave the story out of it, and now it's about being. But
what do you mean leave the story out of it? Why not just get rid of the fucking day? It's a fucking day. You made it up anyway.
I don't mind that it's always on a Thursday. That's pretty cool.
I actually don't mind that if you just like stop talking about this is the reason why we celebrate it. Because that's really what it is. It's like the reason why we celebrate. We're taught like, oh, the Indians and they came and then they took over, blah, 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 and they had this.
They made us dinner and then we killed them.
And then we took everything of theirs.
They cooked for us and we murdered them. We're bad people.
We told them,
thanks for the maize. Is that what you call it? Yeah. Corn.
Straight up.
We're gonna kill you after this. Yeah. Like it's a horrible story.
So just stop telling that story.
I think so too. I think that then
you said stop telling it.
Stop telling that story.
We just talked about this. So do you think it's better to like be like, hey, can we all agree? You know what? If we got an apology,
tell the story, but don't let that be. That's no longer the story told that teaches children that this is what Thanksgiving is about.
Oh, okay. You don't tell the bullshit story. Don't tell the bullshit story anymore. Tell the real story. Tell the real story.
Or just include that part in a whole other reason why you're including it. Like
history book.
Historically, this is how the United States have done people of color in general.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Thanksgiving's interesting.
How does
I feel you on the rebrand.
It needs rebrand
because the idea of having a holiday about being thankful is really nice.
Yeah, it's actually my favorite holiday for real.
Yeah,
It's probably my favorite holiday. That or I guess Christmas time. But no, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday because I don't know how your household was growing up. Black people treat Thanksgiving just as an opportunity to have a cook-off. Niggas just want to see who can cook the best in all the families. You come together with your dish. Somebody, don't touch that one. Don't touch that one right there. I got to heat that one up for at least, set the oven to 350. I'm going to need 20 minutes. As soon as they get to your crib, so nigga, you know, like, okay, it's going to be something. And niggas know it's a good thing when you get this ass right here. Who cooked this? Who made the spaghetti? Nigga, that was me. Oh, damn, Uncle Elroy killed that shit, didn't he? Right. So I'm just saying, like, so Thanksgiving for me always is just family, and I'm a big family person. I got a big family.
Yeah. See, we just got to leave the pilgrims behind.
For that.
But keep the thankfulness,
yeah.
I think, you know?
The rebrand, I'm with that.
How much can we do of that? Like Stone Mountain. We talked about this on this show. Like Stone Mountain in Georgia. It's got Robert E. Lee. It's the home site. It's literally, I think it says home of the KKK on it. Like it's a arena. But it's
home of the KKK.
It's where it is the home of the KKK. Imagine it just had a
gazebo over the whole street.
With and everyone in the town's like, yeah.
Fucking lights. Like it's an amusement park down there. Because it was. They have an amusement park. I don't know if you knew that. They have an amusement park at Stone Mountain. But it really is where the Ku Klux Klan was re-put together in 1915. Robert E. Lee and them have a fucking sculpture in this big ass. It's like I think the biggest natural stone.
It's like a Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore
of Confederate.
And I have said this, and I will say it again. It is beautifully done. It is the most racist backing, but it looks
excellently executed. I mean,
like this white supremacist had a gift. But you look at it and you're like, okay, like something like that. Like there are people that argue with me and say, well, you can't erase history. It happened, sir. A lot of proud white people try to act like they're not proud. They write you and say, well, it happened. You can't get rid of it. And you're like, yeah, it happened, fam, but we don't have to glorify it. We don't have to celebrate it. We can get rid of this thing.
Carve it into a mountain.
No, you gotta keep the history, but you gotta like put it in the right context. You know what I'm saying? So
how do you rebrand Stone Mountain?
I don't know. I don't know that one. I'm just saying.
That one's gonna need some work.
I'm talking about like telling the stories.
When you're talking
like
about history books and stuff, I was wondering how do we, because you can't really like how do you tell the kids the story of America is pretty bad unless you teach the folklore and then give context. I don't know.
Kids saw Lion King at 5. Are we gonna
change the folklore of America?
Nigga, if you can watch Lion King at 5 years old, you can know about America. Lion King teaches you everything you need to know.
Lion
Niggas
King's
will double cross you.
Man.
Your own brother might murder you, motherfucker. It don't matter in the streets. You might have to grow up fast. If you a little nigga, you might lose your dad and have to grow up fast. Lion King teaches you everything you need to know at an early age.
True.
You can learn the story of America. Motherfuckers stole people. They used them for their work. They didn't pay them shit. Tell the story. Tell the story. Maybe
that's how you start.
Maybe
the story.
Maybe you Dr. Seuss. I don't know if we need to rhyme more slavery books, but I don't know, nigga.
Say it for real.
Let somebody rhyme a slavery book. Niggas might be like, oh, that makes sense. It's crazy.
And I remember it.
Nigga, this shit has rhythm. This is insane.
I remember this now. Excellent. Why didn't they do this before?
Oh shit! Should have been had Usher come in here and sing this shit. Sing this Sesame Street slave musical. This is amazing. I listened a long time ago.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I don't know.
We gotta work on rebranding. As a country, if we not willing to get rid of shit, let's think of plans to rebrand shit. Then country.
Oh my god.
It's not the craziest.
I feel like I learned the story and then they always kind of like backtrack and go like, but also this fucking happened.
Yo,
like,
see that's
but also
the footnote, man.
It can't be the
footnote anymore. It's like
it needs to be part of it.
By the way,
because I also think
part of it. It was a major part of that.
After they had food, they were killed.
Yeah, like shit. Yeah. Tell that part of it.
Yeah, well, I remember.
But they had a great time at dinner. It was
man,
really nice.
Every picture you've ever seen,
everyone was really happy.
First of all, it was an equal amount of them. Right. Every picture, it's always 4 pilgrims, 4 Indians. You're like, okay, well, it's just so happened to be an equal amount. Like you niggas in a boy band. This is weird. But like, I don't know. I'm high as fuck now.
Walmart won't enforce its rules on wearing masks because it fears staff could be attacked by shoppers angry at being challenged. People who refuse to wear a mask will still be served at Walmart and many other stores despite new mask rules. Walmart began requiring face coverings to be worn in all of its stores on July 20th, with coronavirus cases spiking in many parts of the U.S. To avoid a physical confrontation, however, staff members have been instructed to still serve people who refuse to wear one. The Walmart spokeswoman Delia Garcia told Business Insider. Home Depot, Lowe's, CVS, and Walgreens will also have to serve people refusing to wear them, according to CNN. Mask acceptance is widespread in the U.S., but there have been several incidents of violence in stores towards staff members from customers who object to mask rules.
You know what the saddest part is that wearing a fucking mask has become political. And that people are like, oh, you know what? We had said at first that you had to wear a mask, but now that the president has not stood with wearing a fucking mask, now we need to say, well, you know what? We don't want to make this political, so we'll take everybody. We'll take everybody. I also don't think it's that many cases of people getting violent.
I'm confused about.
I think that's bullshit.
To protect their staff members, is it really going down?
Is it going down like that?
It's like, yo, did you? I feel like we would see a lot more on World Star. It would just
I mean,
World
yeah,
Star,
you're right. You see it every once in a while. You see a Trader Joe's clip.
Yeah.
where someone
like, why
goes
is this
nuts.
the 8th video of someone
Walmart
getting their ass whooped
today?
at Walmart?
They in that article they mentioned that one person shot a security guard over.
That was at Dollar
mask
Tree,
problems.
Walmart. Don't take other people's fucking incidents and make them yours.
I don't know.
Dollar Tree might have had some beef with another nigga before anyway. Dollar Tree is a certain brand.
I think that's him right there.
Yeah, exactly. Walmart though, you don't do that. That man really went through it. You making this your shit.
I deserve freedom.
Yeah, I don't.
This is my right.
I don't get this. I don't.
You're
get
hurting
why this is a
everybody else.
statement when we like. I don't know why the nation is. I get into it with so many people who tell me I'm this. You're a fucking another paid liberal to post certain things. They're paying you.
Oh, you're paid. You're like a paid protester?
I'm paid. First of all,
Wow. George Soros or something?
First of all, I'm not that big, so I wonder how much they're paying me. They probably pay me nothing.
You
to
said
post
George
shit. I'm
Soros.
getting cheap shit. But no, people say that to me all the time. Like, you're a paid liberal.
That's what I think about paid
fuck-
protesters. It's like, what? How do these people get
Because
paid?
that's what we're used to in our society. Unfortunately, we're used to, like, it's like for real paid politics. We expect this shit.
Yeah,
Sucks.
but do you
That
think
shit
it's really some
sucks.
fucking paid liberals? I mean, it might be, but I'm just saying, like, you think me telling you to wear a mask, I mean, I'm a paid liberal? No, I'm looking at the same numbers that you have access to. I'm listening to the only doctor up there. The other guy, he doesn't even know how he got up there.
Man.
And I'm listening to Dr. Fauci, who's saying, oh, no, actually wearing a mask will help. We could really curb this thing in 3 weeks if we were all just to pay attention to this thing.
Right.
And you're telling me I'm paid to say that. No, I don't want you to die, weirdo. I don't want people to fucking
I don't really
die.
get why all of our stores are catering to those people. That's such a strange move to me.
Because it's more of them than you realize.
See, that's the trippy part.
I'm not saying that this is all of them, but we just saw
Why is
the
it
polls
just
come out.
America?
We just saw the polls come out that 50% of white people are still voting for Trump. 50%
Yeah, I did see that too.
after all
Yeah.
that he's done.
Bro,
Half of white people were like, not enough.
still.
He's got to murder my mom in front of me
No,
for
I
me
think
to
they'd
think
stick
about
with him.
voting for Biden.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He is murdering people's moms in front of them with coronavirus. But I think people are so... Literally, one of his advisors' grandmother died of coronavirus, and he was like, "No, he didn't. No, she didn't."
Like, one
Really?
of his
Yeah,
head
Stephen
dudes
Miller's
got it today, didn't he?
Stephen Miller's grandmother on public record died of coronavirus, and he was like, "It wasn't coronavirus. It's he's trying to push conspiracies."
Got
He's
it.
like, even my own grandmother. He's
Wow.
such slimy people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Not surprising, unfortunately.
I-
But
and
that's why. That's why.
Yeah, because it's not surprising.
Yeah.
No, it's just brain at
because
this
people
point.
just expect it to be like without any consideration to other people. Like with it, that nothing is done because you genuinely believe this. It's that you're just being paid for it because that's just how everything works.
Yeah.
It's kind of
You
sad.
can buy anybody.
Yeah.
You,
what
and
if
everything
these are
is
paid? What if the freak out people at Trader Joe's are paid? by Fox News. Just like start a conspiracy on the other side.
Well, yeah, but it's so fucked up that our president can, number one, start conspiracies like openly that we can fact check ourselves and be like that. It just isn't real. Like you can just be like, no, that didn't happen.
Crazy.
And it's crazy that he does that. And it's crazy that he survived in office for as long as he has with just the only argument he ever makes is that they're lying on me. That's his argument to everything.
Believe me.
Fake news.
The fake news. They're lying on me.
They're fake. Believe
And
me.
his
Fake news.
people, every time his
Yo, that's the
fans,
coldest shit you could say
it's
to your
the
girl.
cold-
Sorry.
Fake news?
Fake news.
Fake news. Oh, the breaker. She
Hit her with the. That's a song right there.
fake news.
Fake news.
Yeah. It's our cheating. Fake news.
Yo,
Fake news. You know that's fake news, babe.
that's fake news.
Yeah.
It's good. That's why, because he's good at branding, you know.
Man, that guy's the best at spin, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
His spin is wild.
It's crazy that people
But
buy
the
it.
people.
I was
Why?
I was thinking about the Walmart people, and I you know how it hasn't been looked at. What those Walmart people were doing, whether we like it or not, they were doing a protest, and their protest was disruptive and violent, and it got change done, and I just think that's worth noting.
Well,
I think that's like.
I don't know what that means.
I think you're being disrespectful to what a protest is.
but
By
that-
people throwing tantrums.
but-
Those
but
are not protests.
you're-
Those are tantrums.
I
Chris.
agree.
Those are tantrums. Protests are organized somewhat.
yeah.
Well, I guess I'm looking at the criticism
I don't know
of
if you
the
can,
protest.
can you protest by yourself?
But when
I
in
see it.
reality,
I don't know if it works. Is that a protest? If it's by, if
I'm
you just by yourself.
protesting.
Yeah, I'm by myself. It's like shut your
I
ass
seen
up.
a couple kids like by themselves on streets, and I was like, you know what? They are protesting.
By themselves.
By themselves.
And themselves. Multiple. I'm saying, can you
Oh no, like one
protest
kid.
by yourself? Oh, you saw a dude.
No, just one kid.
by himself.
I'm like, yo, you're fucking really protesting.
And he was
That's
like, what?
sick.
Like Black Lives Matter by himself?
Yeah, a little kid just with a sign.
That's dope.
I seen a
That's
couple of
super
them.
sick. That is super sick.
I'm like, yeah, that
For sure.
qualifies.
And
Yeah,
you're keeping
qualifies.
the protest going like everywhere at all times. It's good.
Do you feel wrong about like leaving him there by himself?
Kind of.
I would
Join
too.
them.
I definitely
you
was
be
like,
like,
yo, where's your parents at though?
Yeah. You ever
Just out here
have you ever seen like hey
protesting.
no Nucky Wrigley, stop it. Go.
Are all these still good?
I'm scared. Yeah, y'all get out of here.
Every once in a while,
Get
they
them
hit one.
Wrigley.
Oh
Out.
yeah, it just kind of
Switch.
slides.
Out.
Do you wanna
Nucky
go back
out.
to the theater?
Yes, please. They're out of control.
Wrigley, next.
Nucky's
But they're
not-
definitely
"No, I'm good."
characters on the show. These two, they come in.
They are characters on the
They're
show.
so
People
dope.
know them. People also know that Nucky is a lot. He's a lot to deal with.
He's like chill today.
He's
actually
been
is
locked in
pretty
a
chill
room.
today.
That's
Yeah?
why
Is
he's
that why?
chilling.
He knows. He's like, all right, I'll be cool.
Yeah, but he won't.
I don't
He
know if
literally would probably
knows
be cool for
anything.
like maybe 2 minutes. And he's doing good. And then he probably knock down 4 cameras, a light, bite your foot.
Miguel might be a
Embarrassment.
whisperer though, because I felt like Nucky was calm around you.
I like that guy, man. He's real cool.
Well,
I love animals though.
Do you?
I really do.
You have a cat, right?
In general, it's two
Two
cats.
cats.
I want a dog. We definitely want a dog, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you grow up with cats or dogs?
I didn't grow up with a lot of. Actually, we didn't grow up with pets at all.
Oh, really?
We had a dog when we were like hitting our like teenage years, but then.
Okay, so when
yeah,
did you fall?
he was at
Like,
my
would you
dad's.
consider falling in love with the animals? Like,
Probably our cats.
your cat. So you guys did have cat.
I've always been real good with animals. Like I've always liked them, but I never wanted them. And then we had cats, and I'm like, damn.
You gotta be a certain kind of. Let me start by saying, you gotta be a certain kind of smooth. You gotta be a certain kind of cool ass nigga to have cats. First of all, let's start with that. No, let's start with that. That's a real thing. I am afraid of cats. I've said this on this show on multiple occasions. Cats scare me. Cats don't need you. Cats
Yeah.
live with you,
Yeah.
but they don't need you.
Different temperament for sure.
And
yeah.
and I always just hear stories. I'm not sure any of them are real.
You know what they don't? They don't like
Cats
Like you
choking
be-
you in your sleep or smothering you in your sleep.
when you go sit down and then they don't. You're like, damn. You're like, or come here.
Yeah.
Cats are like, what?
Yeah,
Fuck
cats
you.
are like
No
strong black
Doing
women.
my own thing.
Cats are like strong black women. You
Kinda.
can't talk to me a certain way.
Kind
Not
of.
listen to that shit. You know that, right?
I will come to you, when I want to.
I do what I want to do. And you're like,
Yeah.
damn, she's
Yeah.
right.
Well, I love dogs too. I love dogs because they always seem like they have like a purpose. They're like, they know that they're your best friend.
Oh,
they're gonna show up for you.
Yeah.
They're gonna show up for you.
You're God.
Yeah.
You're God with this dog.
And I don't know if cats. I don't know if like if your cat saw you suffering, if your cat would be like, that's personal, or if your cat would be like, or if your cat would be like, let me go cuddle up next to him, let him know I'm here. I know my dog would do that.
Yeah.
What do you feel like as a cat owner?
I don't know.
Do they give a fuck about you?
I don't know.
And you
sometimes I think they're aliens. Like they're just like there to watch you, and they're like they'll come and
I
like
hear a lot of
show
people
you.
say that.
Yo, it's a trip. But I still love. Like
that.
we're in love with our cats, man. They're really beautiful. Yeah.
Because cats also have been like,
I feel like a
praised
parent
throughout time.
showing like other parents their kids and shit right now. I'm like, oh,
That's,
I mean, that's having a pet too.
yeah.
Chris,
What
your
do you
dog.
I have a mix. I have a dog right now. It's my girlfriend's dog who's had him for years.
Yeah.
And I'm new to him, but I'd like to think I'm an important father
You
figure.
like to
in
think
his
that?
life.
How old is he?
He didn't text me on Father's Day.
How old is he?
He's actually 12.
So you think that you the first nigga that he didn't met?
Oh,
no.
Oh, that dog no.
That
You knew
dog-
the answer.
Wait,
You
maybe
knew the answer to
he's-
that question. You knew how.
Maybe he's
I was
my,
12.
maybe he's my father figure. Because actually, like in dog years, he's like Bernie Sanders' age. He's like really
But
old.
when do dog years stop? 'Cause they stop after a certain amount of
Oh, they
time.
do?
What does it go 7 each time until the end?
There's just like an old
I
cutoff.
didn't know that.
There's a
Yeah,
threshold. You're like now you're
no,
just
I
fucking
think
old.
once it
Feels
hits
made
like
up as
7,
fuck.
it drops down to like 3 or 4. It's something like that. Look it up.
Oh, does it like does their aging slow down in human years?
Yeah, it slows down in human years.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it. Like they're not aging as fast.
I just saw somebody.
That's real. That's real. Look it up, guys.
I
I,
was really
don't make up fake stuff on this show.
She's like, no, fake news.
Yeah, watch. She gonna see it and be like, damn, my boyfriend's smart. She gives me credit for anything. It could be any fact, and I become smart.
Yeah, my husband.
I just throw out stupid facts. They don't even fucking mean it. They're irrelevant as shit. And she's like, how do you know that? I'm like, it's just a Snapple fact. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares about this. It's true, right? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm pretty smart sometimes.
I just imagine the guy who's like a mathematician and he's just spending his life trying to figure out exactly how old dogs feel in comparison to us. And he's like, well, after 35, they actually hit like kind of a similar crisis than we hit.
This shit definitely came from somebody's opinion.
Yeah, 100%. And he
It
calls
was like,
himself
I think, if I had to guess, like probably about 7 in a year, 7 a pop. Oh, we haven't gotten into the Jeffrey Epstein, the
this
judge.
is crazy.
Man.
This is insane.
We can jump into. I
I want to know about it.
Yeah, I don't know everything
'Cause
about it.
I'm not up
You
on
wanna
it
do
yet.
that
Oh, you're not
one?
up on it yet.
I mean, in general, George Epstein,
general,
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh,
but
but
this,
on
I
this,
haven't heard this.
Okay, this is great then. Let's get into it.
Federal judge's son, 20, is shot dead, and her criminal defense attorney husband is critically injured after a gunman disguised as a FedEx driver ambushed their home 4 days after she was assigned a case linked to Jeffrey Epstein.
So
wait,
the
wait,
judge,
wait. One more
yeah,
time.
You gotta go
Who
slow
got
with
shot
this
dead?
one.
Whose husband?
So her husband was shot and her son was killed.
Right.
So it's good.
She's the judge that's supposed to preside over Jeffrey Epstein's
Case.
Madam's case.
Giselle's case.
Giselle, whatever her name
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jazine Maxwell or whatever.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
just
How-
figured this
how do
out
we
that it's
say her?
connected. They just figured this out that it's connected.
This just
No,
happened.
they just-
it was
they-
like they knew immediately.
Wild. Okay. The gunman shot and killed Judge Esther Salas' son Daniel, 20, and injured her husband Mark, 63. The assailant opened fire after Daniel, a college student, opened the door to him at their home at around 5 p.m. His father Mark was shot several times at the front door and is now in critical condition in the hospital. Judge Salas is believed to have been in the basement during the shooting and was not harmed. Last week, the judge was assigned a civil financial fraud lawsuit against Deutsche Bank. Investors say they were misled by the bank, which continued to do business with Jeffrey Epstein after his 2008 conviction for soliciting child prostitutes.
So this guy was dressed as a UPS driver.
FedEx driver.
FedEx driver.
I didn't know that part either.
This
Yeah,
guy was
yeah.
dressed as a FedEx driver, came in, shot her son dead,
opened the door, bow.
Some
then
Guy
shot
Ritchie
him for a
shit.
time.
Yeah, it is.
Then
Then
some
it is
Guy
moving.
Ritchie shit
Yeah.
for real, ain't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
Then he leaves. Should we just tell the story?
Yeah. I mean, he left the attack, and then one day later, he was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The gunman.
Self-inflicted gunshot wound. No, you didn't finish the job.
Committed suicide.
I'm sorry. In my opinion, you didn't finish the job, so we have to murder you. We told you to kill both of them. Not one person saw you, fam. You shot him multiple times too, so that means he got a good look at you, maybe. He lived. Now we gotta kill you because we said you to do a fucking job.
No loose ends.
And no loose ends. It's all to it. So of course he committed suicide, just like Jeffrey committed suicide. We know.
I didn't peep that. I didn't catch that. That it was all connected. That this judge was presiding over what's her name. Right. I didn't catch that part somehow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So somebody in power who's a big ass pedophile sent, or a lot of people,
a gang of pedophiles,
or just a gang that's
shitty, uncoordinated hitman who freaked out when he showed up.
No, he probably was a legit hitman. He probably just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's like MJ didn't have a good night every night. You know, some jumpers he missed. I'm sure hitman's probably like, yo, I shot that nigga, but one of them made it through. This was one of them times. It just so happens this was the big game. This was the big show.
This was the one.
This was the one.
This was the one. You have to do this shit for a long ass time to do the job like this.
I didn't know when you ready for the big one. Man. And then you dropped the ball.
He missed that field goal. It was the fourth fucking quarter.
They just called him
no
up
time, and he was like waiting for his shot.
Missed it a little bit to the left. Man.
Yeah,
it's just crazy that it just feels so much like a fucking Breaking Bad.
It's a movie
scenario.
It's a movie,
but it's really happening.
But you're saying. Well, I want you to hear what you're saying. You're saying it feels crazy that it feels like this Breaking Bad scenario. I agree with you.
But
also the story of these pedophiles.
Yes, leading up
is
to
even crazier.
Leading up
you're
to
like,
it,
wait, the
insane.
fuck. I don't know who would have wrote that movie, but
of course these pedophiles are now getting hitmen.
So I'm just, I don't know. Yeah, of course pedophiles are terrifying. You don't want that motherfucker. You don't want nobody telling this story, period.
All of this stuff is good. I really feel like this is that time, though. Everything's just about to come out. Everything.
It is the
This
time.
is only the beginning. We about
you think
to
we're
see
gonna
so
find
much
out
crazy
all
shit.
this information that's being kept about Jeffrey Epstein? I hope society.
Not only that,
not
I think
just
it's way
I think
bigger.
he said everything in general. I
It's
think
a
he just
gang
was like
of shit.
2020 has set the tone for hey, anything goes. So I think people are gonna be like, hey, you know what? Anything goes. It's time to take down the powerful ones. It's time to expose this shit.
It's
gonna be casualties and all this shit. We gonna lose some motherfuckers. We gonna lose.
You're talking socially on
socially and
no violence.
No, I didn't say we was gonna do it. I don't. I can't.
It sounded for scary for a second.
But it is scary. It is scary. I just said we go. I just said. You good?
Wow.
Yeah.
What if?
That's how I am.
No, I'm saying.
What are the billionaires gonna lose?
No,
the
what I'm
billionaires
saying,
are gonna
you just
win.
said it sounds violent. There was just a judge's fucking husband and son shot.
Yo,
one was
insane.
killed, one was shot over some shit that is that as far as everyone that we knows and the government and everything has said it's a conspiracy. It's not real. You guys, crazy talk.
Yeah.
Netflix made a documentary on what? With blood footage.
Yeah.
All of that? That's a lot of stuff. But like they've tried to tell us it's not real. So of course
it's just the craziest story.
It's just crazy and it's gonna probably get crazier. And you think a lot of directors and writers and shit from the 60s and 70s were good and they had these imaginations. No, they were living in the middle of shit and watching shit happen.
For real.
And they were writing from experiences. And now we just have too much access, so we're seeing the experiences happen in live fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're like in real time. So we're like, oh shit. The mafia went and shot somebody.
I started going back and watching movies, like films, like that have to do with like cities in LA and shit like this. Well, because I grew up here, right?
Yeah.
But like just places in New York, like all the New York films and shit, going like, fuck, this shit was real.
This shit was real.
Like, have you guys ever seen Chinatown?
I've watched Chinatown before.
One of my favorite films.
That's
I went back
LA,
and watched
right?
that. That shit was real. Yeah. And like outside in Orange, like they're just like going back and forth and like how LA was a desert
Yeah.
Just like the cutthroat kind of people and the shit that was happening. But, bruh, all this shit, man.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking. Who was that?
Okay, so I just listened to this book, read a book about it's called Chaos.
He keeps trying to get credit for reading the audio.
I don't know.
book.
Did I read an audiobook? I don't know. Did I read the book?
He keeps being like, I read a book.
Let us
that I
know in the
listened
comments.
to.
Did I read a book or did I listen to an audiobook?
Does it?
I don't know.
That's true, huh?
I really don't
If
know.
that's the case,
That's
nigga,
a
I'm
good
about to
question.
run through like 7 books tomorrow and just be
I read that
posting up
shit.
my shit.
I think you could say you're reading if you're reading audiobooks. Anyway, it blew my mind about like things that were going on behind the scenes. Now I'm trying to remember what the link is.
What was the book, though?
It's called Chaos.
Okay.
And it's a re-examination of the Charlie Manson murders.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story we've heard is this helter-skelter story.
First of all, do everybody say Charlie Manson? Is it white people y'all got a connection with this nigga? Why you
Charlie
say
Manson?
Charlie
I've
Manson?
never heard Charlie Manson.
I was like,
either.
nigga, are you friends with this motherfucker?
Oh, maybe I've just
attached.
been listening
He
too
was
much.
like, Charlie,
I've been listening
Charlie.
to
they-
interviews with the family.
Do
but
they refer to him as
they're
Charlie?
like Charlie. They all refer to him as Charlie.
Oh,
Charlie, man.
shit.
They
Charlie.
try to make him a soft.
Charlie.
Soft.
Well, no, the people in his cult refer to him
Right.
as Charlie.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But I think we've gotten to know him in this book, and the narrator also refers to him as
Right.
Charlie. It's great.
That's interesting.
But it's a re-examination of the story we even know about it, and about, once again, how we know a fact of history, like this hippie started murdering people, and maybe there's an entire deeper other side that shows that this did not go down the way that we learned it.
Really?
And
Yeah.
it's very clear.
That's crazy.
Wait, I'm trying to figure out how this linked into exactly what we were just saying.
We were talking about how because we were talking about all of this like history shit. Then it turned into the Epstein thing, right?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna let you feel
Epstein.
alone.
I'm
here.
checking facts right now.
Epstein.
Let you feel alone out here.
Okay.
And then it turned into
Oh, okay. So my point is, if all of this
Probably
stuff,
not the same point, but he likes this point. He'll move
So-
forward with this point.
So there's people who are they're FBI agents who are infiltrating leftist communities, black communities. They're killing people. We know this. It's FBI.
Yeah.
If this happened in the past, why wouldn't it be happening right now?
right.
Of course, we
You
talked
know?
about this. Me and my dad talked about this, and we were talking about how in Chicago right now, people have been reporting all these black on black killings and this violence is going on. 134 people shot in a weekend in Chicago.
Right.
Crazy record. 70 people shot.
Right.
30 people died this weekend, and it looks fucking insane.
Right.
But we were talking about how the people within Chicago who live in Chicago believe it's the cops doing it. They think it's the FBI doing it. They think it's the cops doing it because they were talking about defunding the police. The mayor was kind of on the side of the people, and all these killings just start going up, right? Not saying that we don't have a problem with gangs, not
Right.
saying that shit, but saying that even these numbers are crazy.
Well,
These is some semi-social numbers. These is fucking like, okay, that just seems like a lot of motherfuckers. So a lot of people, and I know actual people who all say are cops that I know within the city who have said they know that's what's going on.
wow.
Black cops. It's like, we can't say shit,
Yeah.
but we know that's what's going on. We know for
Really?
sure that's what's going
So
on.
I often think that in the past.
Well, really quick.
my-
And now Trump
yeah.
wants to actually invade Chicago with the National Guard and move in with the National
heard
Guard
that's-
yeah.
and take
heard.
over the streets. And
I've heard.
it's becoming this thing where he's trying to take over control from the city from Mayor Lightfoot.
This is really interesting because it sort of ties into the whole they're like unmarked soldiers in
Yeah.
Portland. It kind of ties into this same thing, right? He's
Yeah.
like same vibe where it's like, wait, who? We don't even know who these guys are, and they're just pulling random people, protesters, and throwing them in vans, like unmarked vans. We don't know where these people are going.
Nothing.
So Chicago is what next?
Chicago
And then
already had that going on.
No, so but quietly.
Yeah.
Like unreported because they're still like trumping it up to be gang versus gang violence,
For
right?
sure.
Like gang violence,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And they had, but we know we've had a whole bunch of people, I won't say casualties, but people in Chicago who had like pictures of them, of their faces. They had a whole bunch of protesters that were being thrown in cars and not returned for 5 days. No one knew where they were. There were missing person reports going out saying, we don't know where our sons are. We don't know where our daughters are. And they were finding a lot of them, people of color, finding them, and they're beat up crazy saying the police did this.
Man.
They're fucking us up.
So the real question is, if the same thing starts happening from city to city, at what point do we start looking at it and being like, wait a second, this is like a systematic takeover?
Right. It's on purpose. It's
like that's my question. Like I ask myself, like waking up, seeing it and going like, okay, well, at what point am I going to be like, oh no, like they're really going to just start taking over every, like, is there a threshold? And if there is a threshold, what does that mean? That's kind of crazy.
We talked about this somewhat on the show. I was like, you know what's crazy to me and the scariest thing to me is that the powers that be, if there is a martial law, if it does become a true takeover, the scariest thing is that I start to measure, like try to fuck. It's weird. It's so you've never in your fucking life living in this country thought that you would have to start looking at certain shit that you gotta look at now and to start really weighing
considering
shit. And I at the time was like, okay, well, the people have more money than the government.
Right.
Well, the government's technically in debt. The government can print more money, but the people would still technically have more money than the government, right? So then I was like, okay, well, if we're the people, who would we possibly cut a deal with? Because we started to go over what the deals look like, and it was like, well, it depends on who's siding with you for what reason.
Right.
If we're going over Russia and North Korea, they're more fascist countries. They're not gonna help us because they're like, nah, y'all late to the party. Y'all should have been.
Or they'll be like, great, but we own you.
Yeah. or that. So it's like you start to have to start because to me, life is a negotiation. So you start to have to start truly negotiating what your freedom looks like in your head or how you can maintain this thing. Right. And it's scary. It's like, it's wild. We let the powers the power is not in with the people as much as we want it to be with the people and it should be with the people and it is somewhat with the people. We still know there are powers that be that stop a lot of shit.
It's just starting to feel. I'm like starting to feel it. You're like, wait a second. This is starting to look kind of crazy. It's starting to feel like you're like, oh, like we're starting to really see like what's really going
There's
on.
There's a secret police for the government.
Like, wait a second.
That's like fascism. That's terrifying.
Yeah, so I was talking about that. There's like a photo from the what is it? The Museum of Tolerance. It's like we were talking about this. It's like a list of 10 things that basically say this is when you know that these are the beginnings of fascism. And pretty much if you look it up on the internet, I wish we could pull it up.
We can pull it up. We can put it on the fucking screen. You have it?
It's wild, yo. It's just a trip to like see things and you start to. It's real. This shit is really happening.
And
early warning signs of fascism. That's just wild. I just made this real serious, didn't I?
No.
This is what we like. Yeah, this is what we like.
Oh shit.
No, I'm interested in it because I also kind of, it's just like this. Of course he has a secret police. Of course there are people ready to go. And also there's an engine working underneath. It's not just Donald Trump. There's an engine. There's a reason why this communication is happening in a big system, in a big response to a protest nationwide.
The scariest thing to me is that our country isn't necessarily built like other countries in the sense we're kind of more of a spoiled brat, pampered little baby compared to a lot of other countries who go through real hardship every day. Yep. So when the fight happens, they not scared to fucking fight. I'm not sure America is like, I'm ready to fight. If we had to, I think America would be like, we got to fight?
Yeah.
We can't hire somebody to do this
Although
shit?
I have some faith because you look at Portland and you're like, oh no, like there's some real people out here who believe it.
Yeah.
You know
This motherfucker's getting real life beat and maced and shit. I'm like, I don't know, fam.
So
I'm in the front with you, but nigga, I got sensitive eyes.
It wasn't. It was in a. So I just did fact check, and it actually was in the gift shop at the spot, but it wasn't hung up. But you could buy it as a gift at one point, and it wasn't the. It's the Holocaust Museum, not the Museum of Tolerance.
Is it this thing?
Yeah.
You want me to read them?
Yeah.
So it's powerful and continuing nationalism, make America great again, disdain for human rights. Detention centers.
Yeah.
Identification of as enemies as a unifying cause, always.
Man.
Supremacy of the military, right now. rampant sexism, controlled
I don't
mass.
see that one.
Yeah, that one I'm not sure. Controlled mass media.
Might be wrong
Joking.
with that. No.
Obsession with national security. I'm surprised he hasn't ramped that one up as much. Religion and government.
I mean, unless you count creating a space force.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of
also immigration is a national security
that's
issue.
a better one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's always like, it's a fear of
Because what the fuck
outsiders.
are we doing with Space Force? I don't want to get into that.
Religion and government intertwined. Corporate power protected. Labor power suppressed.
Corporate power is protected. They just
Yeah.
got like a $500 billion bailout.
Yeah.
That's definitely
I think that was the
happening.
first bailout early.
Crazy.
It's been like
right
this shit's
away.
been like
Then
this.
hit the small businesses. They started running out of money for the small businesses.
They're like, yeah,
They
no.
started letting the small businesses know blatantly, like, hey, we running out of money for y'all.
Yeah.
And the big businesses were all good. And most of them don't even pay taxes.
Man.
Y'all don't even need a bailout.
Their cuts are
You're not even paying taxes. You just taking more money. We're just giving you more money.
my bad was okay.
Sorry.
There were businesses that took out a loan of more than their company was worth
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
after in this pandemic refund.
Niggas can't get loans for houses in their neighborhoods.
Labor power suppressed, and meanwhile, like people in Amazon warehouses,
Yeah.
disdain for intellectuals and the arts.
So,
Yeah.
How you be feeling about the Amazon commercials that be having, like, you know, people of color, Hispanic people, black people that be like, I like working here. Like, they be like, it's almost
I
like
swear.
they got a gun behind the camera. Like, nigga, say it again.
Right.
I love it here at Amazon. It's the most amazing. The boxes are nice. I don't know, nigga. I've never done TV. But it's really weird, like, that they obviously hear people speaking about the work conditions and not being paid right.
They've definitely been like threatened for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
like,
they're really trying to run commercials now. It's like, it's so, it's such a political, like, it's like something politicians would do. They were running like, don't believe what they say about us.
He made $13 billion in
a day.
this
And homelessness is still a thing.
Yeah.
one day.
13 bill. He don't be giving away none of his shit either. Well, he be giving, like, bro, he'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna donate $50 million. And when you don't really truly realize how much money he has, you be like, $50 million, that's nice. He ain't gotta give nothing. And then you be like, wait, 13 billion in a day? Like, nigga, 50 billion? I mean, 50 million? 50 million means nothing.
Billion.
You divorce somebody, they became the third richest woman on earth.
That's wild. Yeah. That's a lot of,
Shit.
They're all going into oil.
I'm talking shit about Jeff Bezos, but if he asked me to marry him right now, I'm not gay or nothing.
Might consider.
I might be like, alright, fam, get up. You embarrassing us. Nigga, yes. Put it on my goddamn finger.
But let me see the
This
ring
rock
first.
is
Let me see.
crazy.
This shit is wild, yo.
This is wild.
You see that?
This is a purple.
You see it?
This is a.
You're like showing it off. You're like,
This is
but-
insane.
ah,
This is one of one.
all your homies, you're like,
Take it out your phone. Straight
Terry
the light
Winston,
on it.
huh? This does hit different.
yo.
Yeah. I feel like we got a show. I feel like we did a
We
show.
did a show, right?
That's great.
We did a fucking show.
Thank you so much, Miguel, for coming.
Appreciate
pleasure.
you for real,
My
bro.
pleasure,
Like,
KK.
you know, I've been asking you for a while. You know, I have to stay persistent, but you've been my guy for years. And years. No. You've been my guy for years and years and years. You're a man of your word. You told me you'd do it. So I appreciate you coming on the show. It was a great time. Great conversation.
Yeah, great talking
laughs.
to you.
Yeah, same, man. Same. Never a matter if, just win.
No, of course. No, I never doubted you
Yeah.
on the if. It was just a win. He wasn't. Hollywood as fuck. No, all right, man. Zip it up and zip it out. We did it. All right, y'all take
See
care.
you next week.
See you guys next week.
Man. Excellent. Yo, good look.